Are we still trying to reinvent the wheel when it comes to sustainability? It feels like every day there's a new breakthrough or a revolutionary idea to save our planet. But what if I told you that some of the most effective, practical solutions aren't new at all? What if they're thousands of years old, hidden in the pages of history? Stop scrolling for a second, because we're about to uncover the untold story of ancient China's Green Revolution. We're going to explore how a civilization, long before our time, mastered environmental challenges that still plague us today. It's a story of incredible ingenuity, deep respect for nature, and a forgotten wisdom that offers us a blueprint for a greener future. It's time we learned from the masters. When we think of ancient China, we often picture grand dynasties, the Great Wall, or the Terracotta Army. But beneath these iconic images lies a profound relationship with the environment, born out of necessity and refined over centuries. This wasn't just about survival. It was about creating a harmonious balance between human civilization and the natural world. A concept they called Qian Rein He Wai I, the unity of heaven, or nature and humanity. Let's start with the very foundation of civilization. Water. China's great rivers, like the Yellow River and the Yangtze, were both life-givers and destructive forces. The constant threat of devastating floods on one hand and crippling droughts on the other forced ancient engineers to think differently. They couldn't just build bigger, stronger dams to fight nature. They had to work asterisk with asterisk it. Enter the Dujiangyan irrigation system, a masterpiece of ecological engineering built over 2,200 years ago. And here's the incredible part. It still functions today. Instead of damming the river, its brilliant creator, Li Bing, designed a system to divide it. A central levee split the powerful Min River into an outer and an inner channel. The outer channel continued downstream, carrying away most of the floodwater and sediment. The inner channel, meanwhile, was diverted through a man-made opening in a mountain, gently guiding water to irrigate the vast Chengdu Plain. This wasn't a brute force solution. It was an elegant dance with the river's own energy. The system automatically managed water flow, reducing flood risk while ensuring a stable water supply for agriculture. It transformed a flood-prone region into one of China's most fertile breadbaskets, earning it the name the Land of Abundance. Dujiangyan is a timeless lesson in sustainable water management, observing natural patterns and working with them rather than against them. It's a solution that respects the river's power while harnessing its potential. But managing water was only half the battle. They also had to master the land itself. Ancient Chinese agriculture was far from the monoculture farming we often see today. It was a highly sophisticated system of sustainable and regenerative practices. Have you ever heard of companion planting? The idea that certain plants grow better together? Ancient farmers perfected this. They documented how planting scallions next to certain vegetables could naturally repel pests, reducing the need for any chemical interventions. They understood that planting legumes, like soybeans, would replenish the nitrogen in the soil, making it fertile for the next crop of grains. This wasn't just folklore. It was early agricultural science. They also developed complex crop rotation schedules that prevented soil exhaustion. Instead of planting the same crop year after year, which depletes specific nutrients, they would alternate between different types of plants. This method not only maintained soil health, but also broke the life cycles of pests and diseases associated with a single crop. And then there's Teresa. If you've ever seen pictures of those stunning, staircase-like rice paddies carved into mountainsides, you've witnessed another ancient marvel of sustainable agriculture. Terracing wasn't just for creating flat land to plant on steep slopes. It was a brilliant system for soil and water conservation. Each level slows down rainwater, preventing soil erosion and allowing the water to soak into the ground, replenishing the local water table. It's a perfect example of transforming a geographical challenge into an agricultural advantage. These weren't just farms. They were living ecosystems designed for long-term productivity. This deep ecological understanding extended beyond the fields and into the very philosophy of governance. Ancient texts, like the Rights of Zhou from over 2,000 years ago, contained specific regulations for environmental protection. There were officials whose sole job was to manage forests, mountains, and rivers. They enforced rules against things like cutting down trees during the growing season to allow forests to regenerate. They restricted hunting and fishing during breeding seasons to ensure animal populations remained stable. Think about that for a moment. Centuries before the modern environmental movement, there were laws and government bodies dedicated to conservation. This wasn't just about preserving pretty landscapes. It was a core principle of good governance. The rulers understood that the long-term prosperity of their dynasty was directly linked to the health of the environment. A depleted land led to famine, which led to social unrest. A healthy, balanced environment, on the other hand, ensured stability and abundance for generations. They saw the big picture, that human society is not separate from nature, but a part of it. Of course, it wasn't a perfect utopia. Ancient China faced its own environmental crises, from deforestation to soil degradation, often driven by population growth and the demands of expanding empires. But what sets them apart is their continuous effort to find solutions rooted in observation and a philosophy of balance. They learned from their mistakes and encoded those lessons into their culture, technology, and governance. So, what does all of this mean for us today? We face unprecedented environmental challenges, climate change, water scarcity, soil depletion. We're investing billions in high-tech solutions, which are absolutely crucial. But the story of ancient China's Green Revolution reminds us that we might be overlooking a vast reservoir of wisdom. Their approach to water management teaches us to favor flexible, nature-based solutions over rigid, concrete ones. Instead of just building higher seawalls, perhaps we should also be restoring coastal mangroves and wetlands that act as natural buffers. Their agricultural practices offer a powerful alternative to industrial farming. Regenerative techniques like crop rotation, no-till farming, and agroforestry, which are gaining popularity today, are modern rediscoveries of ancient principles. They show us that we can produce food in a way that heals the land instead of harming it. And their philosophy of Qion Leng Hi Wai challenges our modern perspective. It urges us to see ourselves not as masters of the planet, but as its stewards. A call for a fundamental shift in mindset from one of extraction and consumption to one of balance and regeneration. The solutions are not lost. They are simply waiting to be rediscovered and adapted to our modern context. The ingenuity of the Dujianyan system, the wisdom of the terraced farms, and the foresight of ancient conservation laws are not just historical curiosities. They are practical, time-tested lessons. They prove that a sustainable and thriving society is possible. Ancient China's Green Revolution wasn't driven by solar panels or electric cars. It was driven by a deep understanding of natural systems, a long-term perspective, and a culture that valued harmony over domination. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes, to move forward, we need to look back. We need to learn from the masters who laid the groundwork for a truly sustainable civilization thousands of years ago. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time. If this story of ancient wisdom sparked something in you, please give this video a thumbs up. And for more stories that connect our past to our future, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Let's keep exploring these forgotten solutions together. See you in the next video.